If you're still watching, still listening, still feeling this transmission, it means the signal is getting through. Something ancient inside of you is responding. It's not just curiosity anymore. It's remembrance. It's resonance. You're not just watching this video, you're awakening inside it. Let's go deeper. Because the moment you accept that your disconnection from this world is sacred, not broken, everything begins to shift. Not all at once, not dramatically, but you'll feel it. A soft crack in the illusion, a subtle pull toward truth, a magnetic whisper in your bones that says, I didn't come here to fit in. I came here to activate. But what does that actually mean? It means that your soul didn't incarnate randomly. You are not a mistake. You didn't just slip into this timeline. You were assigned to it. You chose this density, this chaos, this collective amnesia for a reason. Because you carry codes, vibrational, energetic, multidimensional codes that are needed on this planet right now. And those codes don't come online by reading books or watching videos. They awaken through initiation, through pain, through loss, through the crumbling of everything you thought you were. That's why your life has been so intense. That's why you felt like an outsider since childhood. That's why you've questioned everything, even when no one else did. You've been through the dark night. You've been broken open, because only through that cracking can the light codes begin to shine through. Now we enter the phase of activation. This is where it gets real. Because remembering who you are is one thing. Living it, that's the mission. And to live it, you must begin to activate your soul technology, the inner instruments of perception, creation, and frequency that are built into your multidimensional DNA. Let's start with the first layer. Energetic awareness. This is not about becoming spiritual in the aesthetic sense. This is about becoming so aware of your frequency that you can feel when it shifts. You can walk into a room and feel the distortion. You can hear someone's words and sense the truth behind them. You can feel timelines collapse or open based on your decisions. You're not just intuitive. You're a field reader. You read energy the way others read words. But awareness without mastery is dangerous. It leaves you open, unprotected, overwhelmed. So the first practice is this. Every morning when you wake up, scan your field.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
Before you check your phone, before you check your to-do list, check your frequency. Ask, what am I carrying that isn't mine? What is my nervous system trying to tell me? Where is my energy leaking, and how can I reclaim it? This isn't self-care. This is spiritual warfare. And your body is your armor. Your nervous system is your compass. You must learn to trust it more than the world's noise. Now let's talk about memory reactivation. Have you ever had a moment completely out of nowhere where you suddenly knew something that no one ever taught you? Maybe it was a vision, a dream, a sudden inner voice that gave you clarity so pure it bypassed logic. That's not imagination. That's soul data. Your multidimensional memory is stored in your light body, your DNA, your cellular structure. And when you align your frequency, those memories begin to trickle in. At first, they feel like flashes, déjà vu, symbols, codes. But if you follow them, If you trust them, they start to build a new inner language, a language of remembrance. You'll begin to remember why you came here. You'll feel the timelines you've lived on other planets. You'll recall missions you've completed in other lives. You'll understand why certain people trigger you so deeply because they've met you before, in another form, another place. And with that memory comes power. But here's the catch: memory without embodiment is useless. This is where most spiritual seekers get lost. They chase visions, they collect knowledge, but they don't live it. It's not enough to know you're a starseed, a light worker, a wanderer. You must act like it. So ask yourself this: if I truly believed I was a multidimensional being on a mission to uplift humanity, how would I move? How would I speak? How would I show up in this world today, right now? Because that is the activation. You're not waiting for a cosmic event to begin. You are the event. Every time you choose alignment over fear, you shift the collective. Every time you speak truth when it's uncomfortable, you send codes into the grid. Every time you forgive someone who hurt you, you collapse timelines of war and division that stretch back centuries. This is not metaphor. This is quantum law. Your soul is a generator, a transmitter, a living portal. And when you walk in alignment, your very presence becomes disruptive, not in a violent way, but in an energetic way. You start to agitate the density around you. You trigger people. You wake them up without even trying. And sometimes that will feel lonely. Because the more you awaken, the fewer people will be able to meet you where you are. But don't shrink. You weren't sent here to be understood by everyone. You were sent to shift the frequency of the few, who will go on to shift the many. That is the ripple effect. That's how empires fall and new worlds rise, not through mass movements, but through vibrational tipping points. And you are one of those points. So now let's talk about the mission. It's not always glamorous. It's not always mystical. Sometimes the mission is as simple as being the only person in your family who breaks the pattern, who chooses healing over projection, who chooses presence over distraction, who chooses soul over survival. Other times, the mission is big, global, galactic. You might feel called to speak, write, teach, build, lead. But here's the secret: the mission reveals itself as you live in frequency, not before. So stop waiting for clarity. Stop waiting for someone to give you the next step. You are the next step. The moment you choose to embody your truth, even if it's messy, even if it's scary, that's when the mission begins to crystallize. And it won't come as a plan. It will come as a pull. A magnetic, undeniable pull toward places, people, and possibilities that feel like home, not because they're easy, but because they're true. You'll know it when it shows up. You'll feel the goosebumps. The inner, yes. The synchronicities that seem too perfect to be coincidence. That's how the universe speaks to the chosen ones, not in words, but in winks. So follow the winks. Follow the weird. Follow the wild, illogical nudges that make your soul feel alive. Because that's where your mission lives. And as you walk this path, remember, you're not alone. There are others, like you, waking up, remembering, activating. And when we find each other, when we begin to speak the language of light again, when we stop apologizing for our power and start living it, this world will change. And not gradually, not painfully, but quantumly. Because one awakened soul can shift a generation. And you're not just here to awaken. You're here to ignite. This is it, the final pulse. The sacred moment when knowledge becomes embodiment. When the ancient blueprint you carry is no longer something you're remembering, but something you're living, breathing, radiating into the world. You've made it to this part because your soul is ready to step beyond theory, beyond awakening, into full-blown activation. Let's talk about what that really means in a collapsing world. The world you see around you, the systems, the noise, the endless cycles of fear and distraction is not just broken. It's dying. And that's not a tragedy. That's a cosmic necessity. The old world must dissolve so something new can be born. But here's the twist most people miss. It's not going to be rebuilt by governments, by institutions, by the same energies that created the problem. It's going to be rebuilt by you, by the ones who never felt like they fit in, because they weren't meant to. The misfits, the black sheep, the outliers, the ones who questioned everything, the ones who saw through the illusion, the ones who remembered. You are not here to patch the old system. You're here to architect a new frequency, one that is not based on control, fear, or survival, but on resonance, sovereignty, and divine intelligence. And that begins within you. So let's get radically clear right now. You are a cosmic architect. You are not just healing your life, you are redesigning the very grid of human existence. But you can't do that from the old paradigm. You can't carry the frequency of the new world while still clinging to the beliefs of the dying one. You must be willing to let go. Let go of needing approval. Let go of needing to be understood. Let go of outdated rules about what success looks like, what love should feel like, what is realistic. Because those rules were never made for you. They were made to contain you. And the chosen ones, we were never meant to be contained. We are here to vibrate so powerfully in our truth that the old world can no longer hold its shape around us. You've probably already noticed this. You walk into places and people get uncomfortable. Not because you're wrong, but because your presence is a reflection of what they've forgotten. You hold a frequency that their unconscious cannot explain. That's your power and your responsibility. Because when you walk as a living blueprint, when you become the embodiment of a higher timeline, you become a broadcast tower for the new earth. You shift people just by being near them. You realign environments just by entering them. You don't have to try. You just have to be. But being isn't passive. It requires deep inner alignment. It means being so ruthlessly honest with yourself that you refuse to betray your soul just to make others comfortable. It means choosing integrity over convenience. It means walking away from almost right to make space for fully aligned. And let's be real, it's not always easy. There will be days when being multidimensional feels like carrying a thunderstorm in your chest. There will be moments when your sensitivity feels like a curse. There will be times when the world feels so dense, so disconnected, that you wonder if you were crazy to come here at all. But remember this, you volunteered. You said yes to this incarnation knowing full well it would be hard. You said yes to the pain, the forgetting, the disconnection, because you also knew that you would remember. You knew that even when the whole world was asleep, your soul would find a way to wake up. And now that you're awake, it's time to build. But we don't build with bricks and blueprints. We build with frequency. Every thought you think is construction. Every word you speak is architecture. Every boundary you set, every truth you live, every time you choose your soul over your fear, you are laying down the grid for a new dimension of human experience. That's how powerful you are. So let me ask you something deeply real. What are you building with your life right now? Are you building a replica of the old world, just with new paint? Or are you building something from the future? Are you creating from your wounds or from your wisdom? Are you reacting to the chaos or responding from your divine center? This is where the multidimensional mission becomes embodied. We're not here to escape the world. We're here to infuse it with higher consciousness. That doesn't mean bypassing the pain. It means holding it in one hand while holding vision in the other. It means feeling the density, even grieving it without becoming it. You are not here to fight the old. You are here to transmit the new. And when enough of us do that, when enough chosen ones stop hiding, stop playing small, stop waiting for permission, the field will tip. And the old world, it will dissolve. Not through war, not through revolution, but through irrelevance. Because when a higher frequency is sustained long enough, the lower one can no longer exist in that space. This is how dimensions shift, not with noise, but with resonance. And you are part of that resonance. So here's what I want you to remember, and I mean this with every cell in my being. You are not too much. You are not broken. You are not lost. You are encoded with keys that this planet needs. You are wired to see what others deny. You are built to activate what others forgot. And your very existence is a message to this world. Something more is possible. So now the final question: what would it look like to live not as who you were told to be, but as the soul you came here to be? What would it feel like to stop performing and start transmitting? To stop chasing purpose and become the purpose? To stop surviving the world and start rebuilding it through your presence, your choices, your truth? Because that's what you're here for. You are the final pulse in this dying paradigm. You are here to stand as a bridge between the forgotten and the remembered, the broken and the whole, the human and the divine. And when you do, others will remember too. They will see your light and recognize something in themselves they thought was gone forever. And just like that, the world begins to change. Not because you forced it, but because you became it. Thank you for rising. Thank you for remembering. Now go show this world what a multidimensional chosen one really looks like. It's your time. Let's begin. Thank you for staying with me through this entire transmission. You've just received an energetic blueprint that many won't even be able to hear, let alone integrate. And yet you did. That means something. That means your soul is not only awake, it's ready to live what it already knows. So now, let's talk about what comes next. Because after awakening comes embodiment. And embodiment isn't glamorous at first. It's not about floating in bliss. It's about walking into your everyday life with the awareness of a galactic architect and still choosing love when it's inconvenient. It's about holding your frequency when the world tries to pull you into fear. It's about making decisions that aren't just good for you, but are in service to the greater field. This is the next level. You're not here to escape the matrix. You're here to recode it from the inside out. That means your job, your relationships, your creations, your conversations, they all become part of your mission. You don't have to change your whole life overnight, but you do have to start making micro shifts that align with your soul's truth. One breath at a time, one choice at a time, one conversation at a time. This is how we build the new earth, not through force, but through frequency. So here's your invitation. Start living like the chosen one you are. Don't wait for another sign. You are the sign. And there are others like you. We're finding each other. We're connecting. We're building new systems that are coded with light, not control. We are the builders of the next timeline. And you're one of us. You always have been. And now you're remembering. So breathe into that. Let it land. Let it rewrite every lie you were told about who you are and why you're here. You are not too sensitive. You are not too deep. You are not too weird. You are tuned to a higher bandwidth of consciousness, and that is your power. Now go use it. Create boldly. Speak clearly. Love wildly. And anchor the codes that only you can bring to this planet. We need you. This world needs you. It's already begun.